Hi, welcome to week 6 of Stammering blog. Wow, week 6. I thought I'd only do 1 week, but the fact that it's getting such good reaction and people are seemingly liking what I'm doing has kept me going. So thank you to everyone that's watched, subscribed, liked, shared, etc, etc. It's brilliant. I'm only doing this because there's interest there. It'd be no good doing it if nobody was watching. So thank you. So I just want to expand on last week really, because the reaction to last week and the amount of comments was amazing. So just wanted to touch on a few things. I said that I thought my stammer was a disability, but that's not to say every person who stammers, you're the person who stammers. It's your stammer, and you can put whatever label on it that you want to. For me, it's my stammer. That's the way I see it. For you, if you don't see it that way or whatever, that's absolutely fine. That's your stammer. It affects you in your own individual way, and you can then label it however you want to in whatever means you want to. So I just wanted to clarify that. And also in children as well, I didn't really expand. So in children, I don't necessarily think just because they stammer it's a disability, especially at a young age, at a toddler kind of age, because they've still got the opportunity to grow out of it, as everybody thinks they will, but there is a chance they will do, and it's probably not affecting their daily lives and stopping them from doing things. It's probably that starts to happen probably as they get older. So I just wanted to clarify a few of those things, and a bit about people's reactions as well. Some people commented that some of their reactions, so somebody said about when people say what your name is and you can't respond, they'll say, "Have you forgotten your name?" or "Did you forget your name?" That made me smile, because that's happened to me a few occasions, because our name is the hardest thing to say, isn't it? It's the one thing that we can't change, we can't duck or out of. I remember once, actually, I used to work as like a nursing auxiliary back in the day, many moons ago, and I used to do work for a agency, so potentially you could be on different wards on each day. And this one day, even though I said my name was Adam with some great difficulty at the start of the shift, somebody just called me Andrew by accident, and I went to correct them, and they didn't have eye contact with me, so they couldn't see that I was struggling to respond. And I just thought, you know what, it's fine. And for the rest of that day, I was called Andrew. That was just easier than just putting them right, which is some of the crazy stuff us stammerers do. And then at the end of the shift, when you go and get your time sheet signed and it's got Adam right at the top, thought it was Andrew, and I was like, and then you just kind of, well, as stammerers do, they kind of gloss over it and try and exit as soon as possible. So yeah, anyway, I digress. So people's reactions, but are they reacting like that because we've never spoke to them? So obviously this doesn't account for strangers or whatever, but these could be people that you work with, your family, your wife, husband, whoever. Have we ever spoken to them about it? I know certainly before I went on the Starfish project. I remember my wife or girlfriend at the time, many moons ago, she was talking and she was asking me about my stam, and I was very defensive and didn't want to talk about it, and it was no, doesn't bother me, and that was the line. And obviously that's a pack of lies. It does, it did, it still does, well, not as much. So we don't talk about it. So actually I think we need to take some responsibility in this. And if you didn't know, this is a great opportunity. So in a couple of weeks, 22nd of October is International Stammering Awareness Day. Now, this is generally when some media might be interested because it's the day. So, and as well, British Stammering Association do a good job raising awareness of it and using the day to raise awareness. So they have these green bands that you can get, and it just says, let's talk about stammering on them. Now, I started wearing one of these 3-4 years ago, maybe, and you know, it's a great way of getting the conversation started, because somebody might, oh, what's that band you're wearing? And then that's your aim, because once you talk about it, other people, that gives them permission to talk about it. So whether you've got no control over your speech or not, you know, that initial conversation just gives them permission, because as stammerers, we, you know, it's all up here more than what's going on here. So that psychological, you know, it really holds us back, you know, and we perceive it to be so much bigger than it is. And I know this from personal experience. Now I have some control over my speech. You know, talking about it just makes it so much easier to discuss it with the people around me and then talk to them. It takes the pressure off, it takes these big weights off your shoulders, because it's all in here. And I think, you know, sometimes the thing is that holding you back is all in your head, and I think this diagram really illustrates that. So hopefully that comes across. Yeah. So, you know, we think we can't do it for whatever reason, but it is that easy, as in that horse just runs away and it doesn't have to stay where it is, even though it's tied up. So, you know, that is massive, and it's just maybe, you know, that first step that people have to take. You know, a successful journey, it begins with that first step, and it may be just that's the first step that you can take to be more open about your stam. And I promise you, if you do that, then it allows so much more, and your confidence can grow, because that's where we want to be. We want to be in a place where we're happy. Now, we could, if we wanted to, I know I could lead every day without being out of control and blocking because of the situations I put myself in. I could, if I chose to, only put myself into comfortable situations, but that's not where I want to be. So a couple of weeks ago, it talked about doing the Villa View video. It's always something I wanted to do, and going on the fan cams, and I put a link to that. So I did that one, and then since then I've done 2 more. And again, each time you do something, it gets easier. The fear reduces a little bit because you've already exposed yourself. And, you know, second time, third time, each one, my speech hasn't been perfect, but each one it's got better and better. So, you know, the more you do stuff, and I'm so pleased I've done that. You know, I'm proud of myself for doing it. Had some really good positive feedback from it, and that's great. And that's where my magic happens. But if I just stayed in my comfort zone, yes, I'm not stammering, but if I was being true to myself, I wouldn't be happy. So, you know, again, a little bit illustrated in this picture, you know, this is your comfort zone, but actually, you know, this is where the magic happens, and we need to come out of that. And obviously, if you have no way of controlling your speech, that can be very daunting. Even if you do, it's still daunting, but it's a step in the right direction. So I can see I've gone over my 10 minutes again. So there was a lot more I wanted to talk about there, but I can't fit it all in. So again, thanks for watching, and please do leave a comment, because that's how we'll keep this going. I'm aware I haven't answered some questions recently. I will come on to that. I haven't forgotten. And again, if you could like, subscribe, you know, help the channel grow, share, whatever, that'd be most appreciated. Thanks for watching. See you next week.